Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today on this beautiful day. I'm grateful to be here yet again, filling in for Brandon while he is away. And I was wondering what I was going to talk about today. And so what I decided to do was just put it out there to my guides in meditation. And the answer that I got back was confidence. So today we are going to talk about confidence. But before I get into that, I'd like to read a review. And typically we read reviews from iTunes, but today my iTunes wasn't quite working out for me. So I actually found a review that was written on our Facebook group from Mel. So thank you, Mel. That really helped me out a lot today. And here's what Mel had to say. So unbelievably happy to have stumbled across Positive Head, a very synchronistic occurrence for sure. I was feeling empty lately. A thought kept creeping into my head. My cup is empty. I need the universe to fill my cup back up. I need someone to love me. I need love. Browsing through podcasts, I saw Positive Head. I thought to myself that I could use a positive head. Within 10 minutes, I was crying tears of joy. Brandon made me realize I can fill my own cup. I don't need someone else's love because I have more than enough love in my heart for myself and everyone that I encounter. Within a day, I went from feeling empty to having a heart that is full and overflowing. I can't wait to be here in this community and grow every day. Mel, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. I love how you came to that realization so quickly, that you have enough love in your heart and within you to fill yourself up and to fill everybody else up. This love is infinite that we are made of. So kudos to you for getting that within a day. And I just love that you can tune in and have life-changing realizations. So thank you so much for sharing. Anybody who's not on our Positive Head group on Facebook, please join us. There's so much fun interaction and people helping each other out every single day. So if you haven't joined yet, please do. And if you haven't left us a review on iTunes, we super appreciate that as well. So throw those on over to us if you're so inclined. So like I said, today we're talking about confidence, and interestingly enough, Mel was talking about self-love, and confidence really comes down to self-love, having a sense of our own self-worth, and really letting go of what others may think of us. And a big piece of that is being our true, authentic self. And in order to do that, it's important to let go of what others think of us, isn't it? And also to be confident, it's easy when we recognize that we are source, that that's all we are, that that's all we could possibly be made of. That's all that is in this creation is source, infinite love and light. And that has to be who we are. We are just small fractals, right? So, and having confidence, isn't that really the secret to manifesting? So if we're confident in the things that we desire, and we know what's going to happen, we just can see no other way, this confidence leads to manifesting everything we want. And this comes down to where we allow our thoughts to be, what kind of thoughts we allow to be in our space at all times, because isn't all of this just in our head? Well, our thoughts are, right? But every single thought we think is what is creating our reality. So legitimately, this is all in our head. This reminds me of a story the first time I ever ate psychedelic mushrooms. The ancients called them little teachers for a reason. And I was with a big group of friends, and one of my friends had started to have a bad trip where he was sitting in a corner and he was green. And I went over to him trying to help him out. And the minute I got into his space, that started happening to me too. I just allowed this snowball in my head, and I just created this entire world of like awfulness. And I started having a bad trip too, until my brother, who luckily was there, saw that this was happening. And he came over to me and he goes, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. And I looked at him and realized, like, you're right. It is all in my head. I'm creating this with my thoughts. So I can have a completely different situation happening here. And the minute that I realized that, bad trip over. And I had a blast the rest of the night, learning more things, because again, these things are amazing little teachers. But that was the biggest takeaway of the night, that everything that I think in my head is actually what's creating my reality. And it happens really quickly when you're on a psychedelic. You can just see way more quickly. Things are manifest immediately sometimes. And I also think about people who play sports. Any good athlete, if you think about it, Steve Nash or LeBron James, they're not taking shots in the basketball hoop thinking they're not going to make it. They know every time that ball leaves their hand, that ball is going in the net. They have to think that way. Otherwise, they wouldn't be as good. I remember watching Michael Phelps too, with the Olympics a couple years ago. And that man just doesn't let anything get in his head but his knowing that he is going to just be amazingly fast. And so he is. He knows it's all in his head. Every good athlete does. So why can't we do this for ourselves every single day? Even if the physical world isn't quite showing us what we want to see, we need to kind of lie to ourselves. And that's okay, because we know that it is out there in the potential vibration, right? In the vortex. So since it is out there, it's not technically lying, but it just feels like we're lying to ourselves at the moment. But we can switch that thought by knowing that there is infinite possibility out there in the potential of all things. In the vibrational continuum of time, there is the potential of everything. So we can choose to think a different thought and create that other thing that's more beneficial to us. And maybe that other thing is loving yourself, is forgiving yourself, is just being grateful for the little things. And we have to be really careful with our words. Words are so powerful, right? They're sound vibrational complexes, and vibration is what creates reality. So we never want to speak in opposition to what it is that we want. So we have to be really aware and pay attention to the words that are coming out of our mouth, so we are not shooting on ourselves or canting. You know, if we say, I can't, you want to switch that, like the little train that could, and I think I can. Every time you catch yourself saying, I can't, switch it. Switch that sentence to I can, and see how the universe responds. I bet you over time, with lots of practice, you're going to get a different outcome. And also, there's a confidence in knowing that we are source, right? And that allows confidence in our own knowing of our own inner being. Meaning, when you know that your inner being is nothing but source, that is all the confidence in the world that you need. And that allows us to trust ourselves more. And the more we practice this, the more confident we feel. the more we love ourselves, the more we feel worthy. So, of course, when we talk about things like this, who do we want to get some advice from but good old Abraham-Hicks? So let's see what they have to say about this.
So what do you want to talk about?
I'd also really like to know about confidence. How can I have more confidence in the next segments of my life, and what is confidence?
Confidence is standing in a moment in your body, seeing whatever you're looking at through the eyes of Source. So it includes seeing you, seeing what you're seeing. It means allowing all that you are to be present in the moment. And you would be in that confidence if you weren't doing something, or if you hadn't been practicing something that is still somewhat active in you that isn't letting the confidence through. It's like you've got an umbrella up, and confidence and well-being is raining down all around you because your inner being knows how brilliant you are and how worthy you are. The best way for anyone to grow their confidence or to improve their personal sense of worthiness is to understand the laws of the universe, to set intentions, to do your best to feel good as much as you can, and then observe the way the universe works on your behalf. Because the more you catch the universe working on your behalf, the more worthy you feel. But you got to be in the vibrational vicinity of it. We've been working toward this understanding with all of you for quite some time. We're going to give you a very brief series of ways to look at it that we've been offering with this singular intention in mind. We told you that you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and that you still are source energy even though you're here, because we want you to understand these 2 points of attraction that are you: your soul, source, inner being, God part, and you in your physical body. And of course, the more closely aligned these 2 parts of you are vibrationally, then the better you feel, the more satisfied you are, and the more worthiness you are aware of, because your inner being knows that about you. So then we went on to explain that if you feel any kind of negative emotion, like insecurity, for example, or lack of confidence, it always means that you're just looking at it different than your inner being does. And in fact, if your inner being were not so confident, you could not feel lack of confidence. Because the emotion that you're feeling is the relational feeling between how your inner being feels and what your inner being knows and what you're doing right here and right now. Then we went on to explain that you sift through the contrast in your time and space, and you launch these vibrational rockets of desire. You can't help but do it. And when you do, they're answered every time by your inner being, by source, and by law of attraction. So this growing that you're doing is happening even though you can't see it right now, because these vibrations have to turn to things before you can see them. There's a vibrational realm that exists, but you've got to find some way to tune into it and to practice being tuned to it before you can be the translator of it into things. Well, most humans wait until they can see and hear and smell and taste and touch the things before they allow themselves to feel worthy. They want to gather other people around, and they want them to all stand in amazement at the statue that you've created. Isn't it beautiful? I made this. Took me my whole life. It's all I'm ever going to do too. Just going to rest on the laurels of this statue. A lot of people do that. They get something going and they like it, and other people like it, and then they just stand and say, that represents me. It's the tangible thing that they want to represent them. We want the intangible to be what you're reaching to represent you. Because if you could hook into and understand this vibrational reality, then what would happen is, in your knowing that it's there, even though you can't yet see it, in your faith that it exists, even though you can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, but you can feel it because you feel satisfaction. You can feel it because you feel exhilaration. You can feel it because you're happy. You can feel it because life helped you to know that you wanted it, and you believe that it is coming in the fullest of sense. So you stand in that faith-based expectant, knowing that it's coming because you can feel its state of being. And then a really wonderful sequence of events begins to happen. Because you are not noticing that what you want hasn't happened, but you're expectant that what you want is coming. You find a way and another way and another way and another way and another way of lining up with it until you are in what we want to call the receiving mode of it. In other words, you're ready to receive the vibrational transmission of it, just like Esther is ready to receive the vibrational transmission of Abraham. We're not whispering these words into her ear one at a time. That would be quite awkward. Instead, we are offering her a stream of consciousness that she is receiving at a very well practiced and unconscious level, and she is able to stream our intent into words. This is thoughts turning to things. This is vibration turning to thoughts, turning to things. That's what this is. So all day, every day, you are in varying degrees the streamer of this non-physical vortex, the streamer of it. So you know that feeling when you get an idea, oh, that idea that was so satisfying before you killed it with your doubt, with your objective reality. It burst through in a moment of your defensive weakness. It burst through in a moment of your unguarded protectiveness. It burst through because it must, because source is always flowing it. It came through and, oh, you got a whiff of it. You said, and then you saw someone else saying, what's wrong with you? Nothing, just a ridiculous thought I had about my future success. But if you feel that idea and you feel it and you understand what just happened, that a thought just turned to a thing, it just turned to an idea in your mind that gave you exhilaration because you merged, you were in tune with who you are. And because you understand the process, because you understand law of attraction, because you understand your place out here on the leading edge, because you know you put stuff in the vortex and you know the vortex did its thing and law of attraction worked with it and your inner being's there too. And most important, because you found a high-flying enough thought for long enough, now you and your thoughts are in a close enough vibrational place that you received and translated the transmission of it into an idea. And we want you to know that's not the beginning. That's well along the way when that happens to you. And when that happens to you, that means you have the ability to hold yourself there for more thoughts, which bring more good timing, more good rendezvous, more manifestations of the things that are in your vibrational reality right out here where you can see them and everyone else can too. And there is nothing in all of the universe that brings more of a steady awareness of your worthiness than you're applying what you know and translating it into your good deeds. You see, words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. It's odd that we offer so many words. We blame Esther. We're just offering feelings. We're offering thoughts, and she's translating them. And we're glad that she is, because you're joining her in these rendezvous. And then your life experience shows you something that you've heard about. And you realize that you are the creator of your own reality. You are the worthy creator of your own reality. You have the energy that creates worlds at your back, assisting you in the creation of whatever it is that's important to you. For you not to feel worthy is ridiculous. We'll be kind. Crazy. Stupid. It's ridiculous for you to not know the worthiness of your being, because it's just crazy that you have not been allowing more and more of what you've put into your vortex, which is alive and well, to come into your conscious awareness. So here's why. It comes into your conscious awareness all the time, and then you counteract it with other things that you've picked up along your physical trail. So the reason that you don't let your cork float is because you hold it under the water. That's all. Let go of it, it'll float. So there it's floating. The idea came, oh, what a good idea. And then you think, oh, never done anything like that before. Hardly know anybody that has. Not sure what others would think if I actually did that. Not sure how much time I have. I'm pretty busy. I don't know. I'm not getting enough sleep as it is. I don't know. I don't really think I can do that. and then your cork is under the water, and you say, why don't I feel worthy? And we say, let go of the cork. Oh, I don't think so. I think I have good reason to hold this idea down, because I tried to explain a little bit of it to my mother. And then I went to sleep. And when I woke up, my cork was floating again. Whew, and the idea came back. And then I remembered. And so you practice these thoughts of unworthiness, but the good news is every time you do it, you feel the emotion that lets you know you're doing it. So the key is, when you feel yourself doing that thing you do, where you are counteracting something that has been born and something that you tapped into for a moment, just acknowledge what's happening. You don't have to solve it right then. You don't have to suddenly start feeling different than you feel. In fact, law of attraction won't let you. Law of attraction is going to continue the momentum of the things that you are giving the most time to. But when you awaken in the morning, you have a much better shot of your cork floating. Just let it float for a little while, which usually means see no one for a while. Don't answer your email. Don't look on your phone. Stop the multitasking. Do a little bit of segment intending. Let this segment of your day be, you woke up, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Stay there for just a little while and practice what it feels like to be in sync with the ideas that are flowing. It's just like your radio. Set your tuner for what you want to receive. And what you want to receive from your vortex is way up here in these pure positive energies, you see. Life causes you to ask. You can't stop doing that. So stop trying to stop doing that, because you can't stop doing that. You're going to ask all day, every day. You just are. Ask, 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 ask. It's the predominant reason that you're in this body, in this leading edge contrasting experience, so that new things will occur to you to ask for. So you ask, source answers immediately. It becomes this vibrational reality. And then it becomes more and more and more as law of attraction adds to it, and it gestates and becomes ready for you to receive. That's step 3. You got to be in the mode where you can receive what it is that you've been asking for. And you're getting good at that. Have you noticed? You're getting very good at that. Which leads us to step 4, which is just being very good at that. Step 4 is just being very good at step 3. That's all step 4 is, just being really good at step 3. So that it's natural, so that your natural tendency is to expect good things rather than have to talk yourself into it. And then step 5 is really our favorite step of all, because that's where you come back into awareness of how you felt when you decided to come into this body to begin with. That's where you gladly embrace step 1 as an important step. Because so often you become masters of step 3, and then when you have a dip in your vibration, you beat up on yourself about it instead of acknowledging, oh yeah, I forgot. That is what I came for. I came for the contrast that gives birth to more ideas and more ideas and more ideas and more ideas and more ideas. So we know you heard that clearly. Just be playful about it.
Of course, you gotta love Abraham. Always, always amazing advice. And I love what she said here about confidence is seeing through the eyes of source and allowing all that you are to be present in the moment. So knowing your inner being is love and light, infinite love and light, and being all that you are, being authentic, being truly you. And she also said our inner being knows how amazing we are. It doesn't ever think anything else. So the more closely we can align with that source within us, with that recognition of the love and light that makes us us, then the better we can feel. It's helpful, she said, to understand the laws of the universe, like understanding how this law of attraction works, and to set intentions, to set good intentions, to even just to feel good. And then by doing your best to feel good, by gradual practice, this is just what falls into place. So she was talking about most of us wanting to see this material manifestation before we feel worthy. But even though you can't see it yet, we still need to be able to allow the reception of the vibration in. So it's kind of hard to think a positive thought when the world is showing you otherwise. But really, isn't that the test? Like just knowing, having that inner knowing that the potential is always there vibrationally. And all you need to access it is to allow a different thought. Just allow it. Catch yourself having that negative thought and allow yourself to think a different one. She said, you have the energy that creates worlds at your back. So to not feel worthy is ridiculous. Think about that for a second. It's so true. To not feel our own self-worth when all we are is infinite love and light of the Creator is pretty ridiculous. So let's remember that we are infinite love and light, and that's it. That makes up every single cell of our being. Remind yourself, every single cell is made up of infinite love and light. And if you forget, she reminds us to ask. Ask for help. Always ask. Ask for what you need. Don't ever forget to ask. This is a practice, y'all. A practice every single day, in every moment. And the more we practice it, the easier it gets. Because there's momentum in our thoughts, right? And it's not always the specific thought in the moment, but it's the frequency of those thoughts. How often you're thinking that thought. And the more often you think that thought, the more momentum it has. So in order to think good thoughts and have good momentum, you just need to practice and practice, and the more momentum you will have. So, remember, we came here to experience the catalyst. We came here to kind of get in the mud and get dirty so we can learn how to come out above it and know and see the love in everything. It's kind of the lotus analogy, right? This beautiful flower grows out of this murky, mucky mud. It goes through this whole transformation. That is what we came here to do, to be the lotus, to experience this contrast, to feel all these emotions, and to come out knowing that all we are is love. So with that, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today. I'm going to leave you with a song. This song is by Wookiefoot called Don't Should on Me. Take care, everyone. Till next time.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
Hold on, everybody. Here it comes. Two men come and disagree to agree, both one to the other saying what should be. Each climbing higher up, self-righteous powers and catapulting shoulds back and forth just empowers them. Don't get me wrong, I'm the king of it. Just a little bit hippie, hypocrite, winging it. Sometimes thinking that I'm knowing everything of it and putting my should inside a song and singing it. Sing it. Should as it should maybe sounds absurd, but should could be heard almost every other word. When you should on your friends is bad for the health, but you gotta be careful not to should on yourself. These towers of Babel all inevitably fall with cracks in the wall and the building implodes. From the wreckage and the rubble we rebuild another bubble, cause that's the way the monkey mind goes. With a should do this and a should do that, everybody's just trying to do good. But how many shoulds would a good man say? If he could stop, would he stop should? Oh, my plan for the wounds to mend, there's only one thing we should do. Don't you should on me, and I won't drop my shoulds on you. in our numbskulls like a spark in the dark cave where the lights and sound waves paves the way to mental higher ground. All the little thoughts we collect, turn them into bricks with the intellect. Build a tower in your hypothalamus and cortex, our own fortress in the cerebellum. We can carry our convictions to the roof and yell them at the top of our lungs, standing on the top rung. Should as it should maybe sounds absurd, but should could be heard almost every other word. When you should on your friends, it's bad for the health, but you gotta be careful not to should on yourself. Towers of Babel all inevitably fall with cracks in the wall and the building implodes. From the wreckage and the rubble, we rebuild another bubble, cause that's the way the monkey mind goes. With a should do this and a should do that, everybody's just trying to do good. But how many shoulds would a good man say? If he could stop, would he stop shoulds? Oh, my plan for the rooms to men, there's only one thing we should do. Don't you should on me, and I won't drop my shoulds on you.